Hi there. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly how we use the Catalyst Crew. Now, full disclosure, if you don't yet have access to Catalyst Crew, there will be a link in the notes below. I'll also have a place. And what I'd like to share is that Catalyst Crew is my team of artificial intelligence custom GPTs. And one of the questions I get asked a lot is, why do you have a whole bunch of different ones versus having one big one that does everything? And it's just like anybody in life. If you want to be an expert at one thing, by saying yes to that one thing, you often end up saying no to other things. And my first AI models were very complicated. They could do a whole bunch of things. Let's call them the generalists. And I'm going to be honest, with the generalist, you get an average outcome and you hope for that and you're okay with it. What I realized was that to create the best results possible for me and for my clients, I needed to create specialists. So each one of my little AI models has a special expertise in one thing only, and that's what they're known for. So I'm going to walk through this. The training you're about to experience, we're going to spend at most 15 minutes training you on how to use each of these wonderful little models. Now, the reason it's only 15 minutes is my job is not to teach you the thing. My job is to teach you how to use the tool to do the thing better. What I mean by that is that, for example, we have a model that is an expert at LinkedIn tactics. My assumption is that you or someone on your team is already good at LinkedIn, and we're just helping you do better and produce results faster. So my goal is not to replace humans with artificial intelligence or custom GPT models. My goal is to take existing humans and make them better. So we talked about augmented intelligence. What I'm going to do is, one by one, I'm going to train you on how to use these models using the order that I believe they should be trained in. So first and foremost, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. And we have this lovely photo of an iceberg. And when I look at businesses, a lot of people are looking at the bit that we see above the ocean, and they're really focused on tactics. Now, personally, I know you're focused on tactics if you come up to me and say something specific like, how do I use LinkedIn to get more clients? That is a tactic. And for what it's worth, I believe most businesses that struggle or fail do so because they're too busy with tactics and they've never stopped to ask themselves, am I doing the right thing? Stephen Covey was one of my first inspirations in this field. But years of study, I've worked as an accountant, I'm a recovering accountant, I've worked as a business coach. My observation, and I'll be honest, I've been there, done that. Most people get so hung up on tactics, they don't stop and ask themselves about strategy. Now, the rare few that get it and they struggle less, they have a strategy. And this is where I find it hilarious. People are always trying to copy somebody else out there and say, oh, I can be just like them. The problem is, as you'll notice, this is the line between the ocean and the sky. Strategy, we see some of it, we guess some of it, but the reality is there's some beneath the surface we don't get. And it's that little bit beneath the surface that will make or break our attempts to copy someone else. So in my humble opinion, be your own person, run your own business, don't worry about your competitors, create strategies that work 100% for you. Because if you're copying someone, the way I see it, at best, you're going to copy the 50% above the water. You're going to guess at the other 50%, and you're probably not going to guess right. Now, truly, when you look at the big companies that succeed, they start with a crystal clear vision and they know exactly what they're doing up front. So this might not surprise you, but my very first AI model that I'm going to train you on is a high-level vision model. And for what it's worth, I use the word vision. Behind the scenes, I usually talk about objectives. However, what I realized is that with social media training, a lot of people don't know the difference between a goal and an objective. An objective is a big picture target. Here's what we want to accomplish. A goal is really just the steps to get us there. And if you mistake the two, you're taking short-term action. Whereas if you think of vision, it's the North Star. We can always see it and we can always look ahead and go, that's what I want to accomplish. So a little bit of a rant, but I'm very, very passionate about helping businesses. And so what I'm going to show you is how I specifically use our custom GPT model to get a clear vision. Now, for the record, we have a total of 22 team members and counting. For our paid clients, roughly, I think we've got a baker's dozen. So I think 13 of these are accessible to the public. The rest are ones that we build in-house for ourselves and for our clients. But I will show you the publicly available ones. And the whole point of this is helping you get better results. So first things first, we're going to talk about Olivia. And by the way, if you go to this image, Olivia represents vision. Then we have Samantha, she represents strategy. And finally, we have Andrew, who represents tactics. And by the way, almost all of these other ones, they somehow either clarify the vision, fine-tune the strategy, or give us immediate daily actionable wins. So you will meet Olivia, Samantha, and Andrew first, and then I'll give you a little roadmap. You can decide which of these other AI models you want to get to know. But for today, we're going to get to know Olivia. Now, I'm going to, so for the record, I am launching a new business, and this might sound a little strange, but I'm going to show you how I did it by doing it. So full disclosure, we are at ground zero. My business officially for the world launched October 1st, 2024. Today is October 7th, and I'm going to show you how these little models work. And what I'm going to do is I'm using the model to show you how it works. So there's a little preamble. You don't need to read any of this, but basically, I asked this model to help me build out a business. You don't need to see that because I'm going to walk you through in the next 6.5 minutes how to build a business from the start. So this is Olivia. Her entire purpose is to help me get clear on objectives. So and if you don't believe me that objectives are important, I'm just going to say this, nobody would play any game or engage in any sport or really any activity unless you knew who the players were, what success looked like, and when does it end. And here's the thing, if you're looking at it as, say your goal is to do something, you need to understand, am I making progress to that goal or not? What does success look like? Now, for what it's worth, Olivia is giving me a bunch of things. So there's some questions I need to answer. And once I answer these questions, then it will give me some plans. Now, full disclosure, whatever output we get from Olivia, this is high level. And for my visionary friends out there, this is the level where we probably play the most. Going back to my little iceberg, most visionaries never leave strategy. We get as high as strategy, then we get distracted, we get bored, and we move on to the next thing. The reason I built these levels is to take it from strategy to actual tactics, and then up here somewhere is success. So today we're down at the bottom, and normally people flip this around. I usually flip it around with vision on the top. But today, vision is the foundation. It's the majority of the iceberg beneath the waves. So today we're going to focus on vision. Now, I have shorthand I'm going to share with you. And my goal in life for a business venture that I start, I always want 3 crystal clear objectives. Now, because I like to call things by names and be specific, I have a primary objective, a secondary objective, and a tertiary objective. These words become important later because if we hit one, but we miss the other 2, we need to decide which one we're okay with missing. So for me, my primary objective must always come first, and everything else is measured against, am I achieving that? And for the integrators out there, a little bit of patience. The first 3 videos are probably going to annoy you. This is not for you. So I will tell you, if you're a visionary and you're listening, you're in the right place, or you're watching. If you're an integrator, come back in a couple of videos, I promise. Okay, so for the visionary, I am launching a new. So I'm giving it a little context. Now, this is real-time live. So bear with me. This is me showing you what I'm doing. Maybe you'd like this elapsed time. Stay tuned. We'll be creating workbooks and things like that. So I would like to create my, and by the way, I use hashtags so that I can easily search for this later. Venture, period. Now, one thing I will point out, my next little rant is people don't know who they serve or what they do for them. Stay tuned, those are coming. But for now, this is my North Star. The power. This might seem a little strange to you, but my primary objective is to educate and inform. The reason for that, just in case anybody's following along, and by the way, I have a private group if you want to actually follow along step by step. I'm launching this business in the next few days, but we want to be clear. So my secondary objective. So those are my 3 objectives. Now, to be clear, objectives are more like a mission statement or a vision statement. And now sometimes Olivia gets a little confused and she takes my objective and creates SMART goals. We're not there yet, Olivia. Thank you. And for the record, this is where we stop. So Olivia needs to be reminded that she is creating SMART goals. It appears to me that you are creating SMART goals, which are not in our purview. Focusing on creating clear core objectives that will serve as our North Star. Everything we do must meet these core objectives. They answer the question, how will we know we are going in the right direction? Good objectives should be level focused on our vision, not detail. So this is great because I'm training you, and of course, every now and then AI will do what AI is going to do. So we'll tweak the model, and the good news is it should understand this better. But now look what it did. It created my 3 primary objectives and gave me a North Star for each. So that is good. Basically, Olivia has, once I'm happy with it, and by the way, you are the grown-up, you're not done until you're happy. So give Olivia feedback, ask Olivia questions. Ultimately, you want to have a crystal clear understanding of your core objectives, and you'll see you will copy and paste this into our next model, which is Samantha. So we went a little over the 15-minute mark, but I hope you get the point that if you don't have a clear objective, don't do anything else. I am not kidding. I can't tell you how many people say, I have an idea for a business, and then they immediately talk about the problem that they solve and how they solve it without actually stopping and asking themselves, is that a big enough problem? Does anybody care about it? So the goal of the objective is that when you go to bed at night, you can say with 100% certainty, I'm on a mission and I made progress today. So if you think about vision, it is the 3 to 5 year outlook on your business. That's what, in my opinion, good objectives do. Now, this is really theoretical. Come back in the next video. I'm going to show you how we actually choose strategies based on the vision. Thank you.